New videos every day.
You can totally have pizza and it be healthy and it not be greasy, and you don't have to order it from, a Dominos or Pizza Hut or something like that. I mean, there are ways to eat pizza and feel satisfied, and it's not going to bust your diet. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so there's a lot of variations on how you can make a healthy pizza. Today I'm going to do one that basically is the simplest way to do it. And you can get your own crust, you can get whole wheat, you can get gluten-free. You can buy a pre-made, already decked out pizza at, a health food store. But today I just bought a frozen pizza, and actually it is from Whole Foods Market, and it has uncured pepperoni on it. So it's going to give some good flavor, but the pepperoni isn't going to be treated with sodium nitrate, so you don't have a risk of carcinogens developing when you're digesting the pepperoni. And this is a great way to make a quick and easy meal, and it's very convenient, and yet you get to add a ton of good stuff to it. So today we are going to add some mushrooms, and I'm going to thinly slice those. We're also going to add, this is an organic red bell pepper, and we're going to thinly slice this as well and put that on top. I have a red onion. We're going to chop this up pretty finely. We're going to add some fresh garlic, and we're going to add some fresh sliced organic tomatoes. And then I love jalapenos and anything spicy, so I usually add slices of fresh jalapeno to mine. And of course, if you can't handle spice or you don't like spice, you certainly don't have to add jalapeno to it. But I found that this combination, and then combined with a whole bunch of spinach on top, is the perfect combination for a lot of different vitamins, and it's very filling and satisfying. You're not going to miss, all those delivery pizzas. And then also, depending on, all the ingredients we put, you can add a little bit more of tomato sauce, and I've chosen an organic tomato sauce. And you want to be careful about not adding too much of that, because it can make the crust soggy, and you want it to cook all the way through. And then you have the option of adding a little bit more cheese. I've chosen organic skim mozzarella, and so you can choose that. Now the one that we have today actually has a pretty good amount of cheese, so you don't want to add too much, because then of course that's going to increase your calories. So let's get started. Now this is a pizza right out of the box. It's still frozen. Haven't done anything special to it yet. Now this has pepperoni already on it, and I'm actually going to remove some of the pepperoni. Although I've found that with uncured and organic pizzas, they don't seem to be as greasy as regular ones. I like to take off about half of the pepperoni. That way you get some of the flavor, but you're not, getting too much fat from all the pepperoni. Okay, so we have our ingredients here. We are first going to start with our garlic, and it's up to you how many cloves you would like to use. But I like to use about 2 cloves, and a real simple way to break it apart is to put your knife flat on it and press down real hard, and you'll hear a pop, and that actually will help separate the outer skin, and then you'll just cut off the tip. And then you just want to chop this not too finely, because I think it takes away some of that flavor if you get it too fine. And garlic is excellent because it really helps support your immune system, and it also has antibacterial benefits, as well as helping with digestion. The second thing we're going to do is slice some mushrooms. Now I'm using a shredder here that has a julienne cut, and that allows you to make really thin slices of the mushroom without having to slice it with a knife, because you can actually make these really paper thin, and it's almost like they melt when they're on the pizza. And then we're going to add a little bit of jalapeno here. And I want to emphasize that you want to use, organic ingredients whenever possible. Alright, so that is going to be enough jalapeno right there. So we've got some mushrooms, garlic, jalapenos. Let's do some of this tomato. Now, organic tomatoes actually a lot of times can be a little bit softer, and so you don't want to press down too hard when you're slicing it. So you want it to be a pretty thin slice, but you don't want to smash it when you're cutting it. Okay, then we're going to do some red bell pepper, and you can just cut off a section here on the side. You won't need too much of this. And you just want to cut it in real thin strips. Now, I'm not a professional chef, but I do love to cook, and I think that's the important thing for people to realize is you can always learn, and you can always do it. You don't have to, be a professional at it. And now we have just a little bit of onion. Cut a thin slice of this. Take off the outer peel here. And you just need a thin slice. You don't need to... If you add too much of this red onion, it'll make your pizza even spicier. So that's what you do have to be careful of. So we have all our ingredients, and they are ready to go onto our pizza. Alright, so first we are going to put the spinach on top of our pizza first, and this is really going to shrink down, so you can put a nice layer on here, and although it may look like, oh, that's a lot of spinach, it really does wilt down a lot. I mean, it'll look like you don't have any on here if you don't put enough. And of course, spinach is going to be a great source of fiber, iron, all kinds of nutrients and antioxidants. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and sprinkle our mushrooms on here. And if someone doesn't like mushrooms, then okay, let's just do half of it, and then people can still like what they like. Alright, and then we'll put the red bell peppers on here, and there's really no perfect way to do this. You can just really lay it on however you want. Alright, and then we'll do let's do our onions. Sprinkle these on here. And our jalapenos. Now, if someone doesn't like spice, you can just do half of the pizza with jalapenos, and that way you don't have to, make them eat it all. And that's the thing about buying a whole pizza that's already made, is it's harder to remove the ingredients, if they're already kind of mixed in together. And then we'll do our tomatoes on top. So our fabulous organic tomatoes. And last but not least, our garlic. We'll sprinkle our garlic on here. And like I mentioned before, you can add a little bit more cheese, but the one that we chose for today actually has enough cheese. And then on the very top, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of tomato sauce. Just sprinkle it though. You don't want too much because it'll make the crust soggy. Just enough to kind of help the vegetables cook a little bit. Now, I gotta say that looks a lot better than what we originally started with. And so this is now ready to go into our preheated oven at 425 degrees. And you can actually cook it for the same period of time, and it'll come out just great. I'm using my flexible cutting board that I used to chop my vegetables on, because you want to put the pizza on the oven rack so that it cooks all the way through the crust and doesn't have a soggy crust. So we're just going to slide it into the oven. So it's been about 10 minutes and we are ready to pull our pizza out. And I love when the crust is a crispy brown, you know, a golden color, so that's what we have cooked it. So here our pizza is, and I don't know if you can see it, but it looks just fabulous. And now it's ready to cut and eat. So now we're ready to cut our pizza. And you can hear the crunch, so you know that the crust is cooked. Okay, now on the pizza box, it says that the serving size is a third of the pizza, and that's going to give you 370 calories. But the good news is, because we took off some of the pepperoni, and the stuff we added didn't have hardly any calories because it's all vegetables, you actually can eat about half the pizza and get about 500 calories, which is, you know, a good calorie range for a whole meal, and that's very filling, and, you know, you're going to be so satisfied. Now, for those of you who, you know, always say that maybe organic food or healthy food is so expensive, well, this pizza was only $3.99, and that's a heck of a lot cheaper than, you know, if you ordered it from a delivery pizza place. So, and then you're eating half of it, so it can either be 2 servings or you're sharing it with someone, so of course that cuts the cost even more. So it's very economical and very tasty, and I'm going to give it a little try. I love it. The crust is crispy, it's cooked all the way through. The vegetables are not mushy, which is fabulous. You don't want them to be overcooked. And the flavors are just perfect. It's a perfect combination. I'm getting lots of vitamins and antioxidants from your vegetables. You're getting the flavor of the pepperoni and the flavor of the cheese. It's perfect. So I really wanted to do this pizza video because I want you to know that you can totally and absolutely keep eating pizza, and it can be a healthy option for a meal, even when you're, you know, wanting to watch your diet and maintain your weight or even lose weight. And the key is get a thin crust. You know, you don't have to have a pepperoni pizza, but if you do want some of that flavor, take some of the pepperonis off, and that will reduce the calorie content and the fat content. And then load it up with veggies, so you're getting all those nutrients, and you know, you're getting carbs, you're getting a little bit of fat, and you're getting lots of vitamins. And it's just really a great meal, and I hope you enjoy it.